Hello students, I am Dr. Barkha Bhoneja, Senior Lecturer, Department of Prosthodontics, BBD College of Dental Sciences, BBD University. So we are going to a series of articulators lecture. So we have already completed the minimal and additional requirements of the articulator, the introduction to the articulator, a bit of a classification. So we are going back to where we stopped in the area of classification. Okay, so we had previously covered based on the theories of occlusion, the articulators can be divided and the Bonneville theory of occlusion, that is the based on the equilateral triangle theory. It says that the lower teeth move in relation to the upper teeth. In a triangle which is formed at the distance between the two condyle and the center of the lateral incisor, which is basically a 4-inch distance. So they move in relation to that. The conical theory of occlusion states that the lower teeth move in relation to the upper teeth. In the cone, which is angled at 45 degrees, so RE Hall, which made an articulator, which is called as an Hall's articulator. It's based on this theory. The spherical theory of occlusion by G.S. Monsoon. So Monsoon, what he stated was that the lower teeth, as you can see here, move in the relation to the upper teeth, which goes into a circle with the center at glabella, and this distance is 8 inches. Okay. So next is based on the type of record used for the adjustment, that is those utilizing the interocclusal record. This interocclusal record means any material, recording material, when you put it between your maxilla and mandible. Okay, so interocclusal, between the occlusion of maxilla and mandible, interocclusal, and when you ask the patient to bite it, it forms a record. So it's called as an interocclusal record. These records may be made in wax, plaster, or Paris, ZOE, paste, or cold or acrylic resin. That is when you are making the interocclusal records. Okay, so these records, the articulators are divided into type of record we are taking. The interocclusal record, the graphic record. The graphic record is used in the kinematic phase where graphically we see where is the center of the condyle which is located, which is the graphic record, and those utilizing hinge axis location for adjusting the articulator. That is, if you're using arbitrary phase bow which has a earpiece type or fascia type, when you locate the hinge axis of the condyle and you adjust the articulator according to the hinge axis, those articulators are called as those utilizing hinge axis location. Based on the adjustability of the articulators. Now, articulators can be divided into 3: non-adjustable, semi-adjustable, and fully adjustable articulators. Non-adjustable articulators, where you are, just like we have previously discussed, the class 1 articulator, which is a slab articulator, which can only take a vertical relation of centric relation. Okay, these are non-adjustable. You can neither adjust it to horizontal movement or protrusive movement. So these are non-adjustable. Semi-adjustable articulators are the articulators which comes in class 2 and class 3 articulators, where certain amount of dynamic movement of the mandible, that is protrusive and lateral movements, these records can be transferred into the articulator. They take a phase bow record in everything. The class 4 articulators, I'm talking about the fully adjustable articulators. Now, fully adjustable articulators are the articulators which help you, fully customize your articulator according to what is present in the mouth. So they take all the 5 records. Okay. Non-adjustable articulators. Now, they can open and close in a fixed horizontal axis. Now, this fixed horizontal axis is basically your hinge axis, the transverse hinge axis, which is locating your center of the condyle. So, they can open and close in this fixed horizontal axis. They have a fixed condylar path along which the condylar ball can be moved to stimulate. I'm so sorry, it is not stimulate, it is simulate lateral and protrusive jaw movements. Okay, so they have a fixed condylar path. Now, what is condylar path? This hasn't been mentioned before. So, condylar element. Now, this is the condyle, this is the glenoid fossa. Now, in the articulator, when you have a condyle, this is called as a condylar element. But now there is in the articulator, there is a path which the condylar element follows. Now this segment is called as a fixed condylar path. Now they have a fixed condylar path along which the condylar ball can be moved. So it moves anteriorly, it can move laterally, right? The protrusive and lateral records. The incisal guide pins ride on an inclined plane in a fixed inclination. We are talking about non-adjustable articulators. Now your lower incisors and your upper incisors, when you try to move your jaw, your lower teeth move in relation to the upper teeth. Similarly, in the articulator, there will be lower and upper teeth. Now, these both teeth, when they move, they're decided by the incisal pin. So, this incisal guide pin is rested on a platform. Now, this platform is called as an inclined plate in a fixed inclination. So, these articulator, this plane can be fixed. Semi-adjustable articulators, they have adjustable condylar paths, adjustable lateral condylar paths, adjustable incisal. So all these are adjustable, but something is written here, adjustable intercondylar distance. I would like to correct my presentation. That is not adjustable, that is non-adjustable intercondylar distance. All the other things can be adjusted except for the intercondylar distance. The degree and ease of adjustments differ the archon and non-archon. The term was derived by Bergstrom, that is the articulating condyle. Again, I'm saying I've explained to you before also, archon, type of an articulator with the condylar element is present in the lower member, just similar we have in our mouth. And in non-archon, the condylar element is present in the upper member. Fully adjustable articulators, capable of being adjusted to follow the mandibular movement in all directions. They do not have a condylar guidance. Instead, they have receptacles. That means there you can customize the condylar guide and the pathway. Stewart, Gathnosphore, Simulator, Penardent, all the others are example of fully adjustable articulators. Now, we are going and moving to the laws of articulation. Okay, so Hanau gave 5 laws. You just need to remember these 5 laws. Condylar guidance, compensatory curve, plane of orientation, incisal guidance, height of the cusp. Now, all of these elements will be discussed with you in the next set of webinar series. Till then, thank you.